6:26 here on the East Coast and in our nation's capital tonight. Today marks 1 year since then President Joe Biden announced his exit from the 2024 presidential race. Then Vice President Kamala Harris would go on to replace Biden as the Democratic nominee. You know this. We all remember this. And so what happened today on this anniversary? The president's former president's son, Hunter Biden, doing a lengthy interview that was released today with the YouTube personality Andrew Callaghan, and making it very clear that he is no fan of George Clooney, one of his father's top donors.
And George Clooney is now, to rationalize why he attempted to cut the knees out from a sitting president, the most successful president in the history of his party in his life in terms of the legislative policies that he wanted to see passed, had to justify somehow him going above and beyond to write an op-ed in the New York Times to try to force the sitting president of the United States out of the race. Him, and everybody around him.
I'm telling you, I could play a soundbite in which there was a lot more than that as well. Clooney's New York Times op-ed sparked the establishment publicly running from Biden after the president's disastrous debate performance, leaving many wondering at the time if that article was actually blessed by Barack Obama. Now, Hunter Biden claims the president's use of Ambien did him in that night of the debate.
I know exactly what happened in that debate. He flew around the world, basically, in the mileage that he could have flown around the world 3 times. Yeah. He's 81 years old. He's tired as give him Ambien to be able to sleep. He gets up on the stage, and he looks like he's a deer in the headlights.
Joining me now, Aaron McGuire, Republican strategist, and Chris Cillizza, NewsNation contributor. Hello to you both. In my house, we describe that as a potty mouth, but we'll leave that to the side. Man, I wanted to talk about where the Democratic Party was going to go from here 1 year out, and I'm going to get to that in a second, but Hunter Biden said, no, hold my beer. Not really, but you know where I was going with that. Hunter Biden coming out today.
Yes, the gift that keeps on giving to Republicans. Hunter, come on out for more. We're really enjoying everything you have to say. He really shows, one, there's no introspection in the Biden family or in the Democrat Party, apparently, about why Biden should not have been running for president. 2, picking a fight with George Clooney at this point. What are you trying to achieve here other than showing everybody that you're incredibly bitter and angry that your father, who clearly is in cognitive decline, should not have been running for president of the United States? And 3, if he is blaming Ambien for the president's performance at that debate, is he also going to blame Ambien for all of the other failures and mess-ups of the Biden administration? Is that just going to be the get-out-of-jail-free card now?
It is a question if you were on Ambien then as the commander-in-chief and the leader of the free world and the president of the United States. Like, when else were you using it?
Yeah, well, okay, couple things.
Yeah.
One.
I think you might have more than a couple.
If somebody comes to you, any of us, and says, hey, how about a 3-hour sit-down, which is roughly the length of that YouTube clip, because I watch all 3 hours, but I fast forward. Say no. No one can talk for 3 hours and be like really great, especially if we're kind of a politician. So that's number one. Number 2, he needs to shut it. Like, no one is in Hunter Biden has not ever been elected anything. Hunter Biden's business acumen, as such as it is because his last name was Biden. Right? I mean, look, I would say the same thing with Don Jr. and Eric, but that's just true. 3, remember when he was like an artist and people were buying his stuff for like $300,000? Well, that's because his last name is Biden too. There's nothing, no one is like, I wonder what Hunter Biden thinks on. No one thinks that.
So here's what he said about immigration today, or in the clip.
All these Democrats say, you have to talk about and realize that people are really upset about illegal immigration. You. How do you think your hotel room gets cleaned? How do you think you have food on your table? Who do you think washes your dishes?
I mean, if I said to Aaron, figure out something that someone related to Joe Biden or Joe Biden himself could do to really play into Republicans' hands, there's no chance she would be like this, because she'd be like, not in my wildest dreams would that happen.
You think Joe Biden knew this was coming out? Wanted to come out?
He is, I have kids, 2 boys. I understand father-son. He has always enabled Hunter Biden. Always. So even if he did know, which I suspect he might, I guarantee you he was like, well, okay.
Whether he knew or whether he didn't know, the reality is Hunter was going to do that anyways. Hunter's sitting there screaming about immigration. Who puts the food on the plate? Who puts the food on your plate, Hunter? It's your dad. You've never held any real job. You have no real experience whatsoever, but you're going to yell at the American people when he sat there and he was so indignant about where everything came from. Everything you have in life, Hunter, comes from your father. And you sitting there talking about George Clooney. Listen, I'm not one to defend George Clooney, but he's like, how dare you? No, Hunter, how dare you?
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.